action.
So this is our ID boards that we do on the boat, and there's a couple different ways to do this. One is, I always walk up to people and say, hey, do you want to play a game? And most of the time people say yes. And then I hand out the cards, say, so these are two different pictures of the same whale. So the ones on the little ones are the same whale, but not necessarily the same picture. And the tails, so what you want to look at, you want to try to match them up. This is what we do out in the field. You want to look at the black and the white patterns on the tail, not necessarily the shape. Because when you take a picture of a whale's tail, it may look like this or it may look like this. And because you only have a 2D image, the outline of the tail may not be the same, and it could be slanted one way or the other way. So you really just want to look at the black and the white patterns on the whale. So then I let people start matching them up, and sometimes when people put them down and they get them wrong, I wait until the end and let them try to figure out whether they did it right or not, or make how to correct their own mistakes. And sometimes I'll tell them, that they're wrong right away. So when there's over 2,000 whales that have actually been named in the Gulf of Maine. The resident population is somewhere around 800 or so. And when they're cataloged between all white and all black tails. So an all white tail is a type 1, and all black tail is a type 5. So this would be obviously an all white tail. This is a whale named Pinpoint. It's that little white or black mark. This would be a type 5. This is a whale named Geometry. When Geometry was a calf, it was actually more of a type 3. Sometimes within the first 4 years, they'll lighten up or darken up. So if a calf has a lot of gray on its body, that could go either white or black. So when Geometry was born, there was actually a mark over here that looked like a triangle and one that looked like a circle. And also, if you look at his tail, this is not actually a figment of your imagination. This tail side points to the side, and then this side points up. So the shape of the tail is different on either side, so got the name Geometry. This would be an example of a type 3. This is a whale named, maybe a type 2, named Anchor. This mark looks like part of an anchor. This is a type 3 or 4. This is a whale named Nile. This mark on the left-hand side looks like the Nile River. And this is an example of an animal that's been entangled in fishing gear. So one of the things that you may have heard the naturalist talking about was entanglement scars. And these are entanglement scars on the base of Nile's tail. This is a really good type 2. This is Echo. These lines on the side look like an echo. This is another whale, kind of like Geometry, a whale named Tornado. When she was born, she had a tornado-like mark on the left-hand side, but it's darkened up. But I think that white mark kind of looks like a tornado. This is Cajun. Cajun is one of our more popular whales last summer. These two little marks look like chili peppers, so she was given the name Cajun. You have to use your imagination sometimes. This is a whale named Pepper. Pepper actually, her name doesn't have anything to do with the tail, so we name them based on marks on their tail. We try not to give them people names or gender-specific names. We name them after the mark on the tail. Those are the 3 rules. But Pepper was one of the first 2 whales that got named. So back in the late 70s, when they realized that all the tails were distinct, there were 2 whales that were together. One had all white on her dorsal fin, one was all black, and so they got the name Salt and Pepper. So these whales Salt and Pepper have been around since 1976. This is Crown, and this is another example of entanglement scarring. So all the white in there and the lines are where the line was wrapped around her tailstock. And I think it's those marks that gave her the name Crown. And then this is Pele, and if you really use your imagination, this looks like a soccer ball. Pele was a very famous soccer player, and that's a leg and a foot. And I know we're not supposed to name them after people, but sometimes those names sneak through. So you guys did a great job matching up your whale tails.